Well, hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Laila and welcome to Correct My English. I have been told that I don't practice my English enough, so I decided to film my practice. And you guys will tell me how I did. The topic today is garlic. Let's see what the questions were. Let me know if you would have answered any other way. Question 1. Why do vampires, especially Dracula, hate garlic? Well, that's an interesting question. I believe that vampires originated from Bram Stoker's Dracula, the iconic 1897 tale of a vampire from Transylvania. I believe that Transylvania is a place in modern-day Romania. Legend has it that vampires were created by a disease of the blood. So, a powerful antibiotic like garlic would kill a vampire. I guess that is the reason why vampires would hate garlic. I would too if I was a vampire. Question 2. Do you know the names for the different parts of garlic? Yes, I do. The outer papery layer is called the peel. The formations under the peel collectively are known as lobes. The individual formations are known as a clove. The hard little bottom is known as the basal plate, and it attaches to a stem in the middle. Question 3. Do you know of any potential side effects of garlic? Well, that's a tricky question right there. I guess some people could be allergic to garlic. Allergies are a common problem with a lot of people, with a lot of different things, not just garlic. The other potential problem that I've heard with garlic is that it could burn your skin. Like people with sensitive skin could get a bit of sensitivity if they rub a clove on their skin. I've also read that garlic is a blood thinner and it's not recommended for women who are actively on their monthly cycle. I don't personally abide by this. When I'm on my monthly cycle, I'm not even thinking about this. The one that I don't necessarily agree with is that garlic causes bad breath. I think that especially if a person suffers from underlying dental issues, this could probably exacerbate the smell of garlic because it lingers and mixes with other awful smells in the mouth. But I believe that the smell of garlic out of the stomach and in the stomach is more or less the same. And people, especially with bad etiquette, will belch in public. The garlic has mixed with stomach acids and comes out in a different way. Lack of manners is also something that could be giving garlic a bad rap, in my opinion. Question 4. How do you like garlic? Crushed, sliced, diced, or whole? Well, I like my garlic diced. I swallow 2 cloves of garlic a day, so I chop them into really small pieces and I swallow them with water, like I do my vitamins. I believe that garlic boosts immunity and it's been proven so scientifically. And for me, especially, it's really been helpful to treat some gut issues that I was having with digestion and elimination. So if anyone's having that problem, I just want to throw this out there. It's worth a try. I also enjoy garlic in this Lebanese sauce. It's called a garlic sauce and goes really well with grilled chicken from this specific shop that I buy it from. It's really nice. The taste is so natural and delicious and really fresh. And it comes actually chilled. So you can imagine the contrast between the warm chicken and a cold sauce is just so perfect. I barely cook garlic in food because I don't believe I have the correct skill to handle garlic. And where I'm from, we use garlic in extremely special occasions with parties and guests and so on. I don't necessarily believe that garlic is for everyday cooking. Question 5. What food dishes do you know have garlic in the title? Well, I believe that Domino's does garlic cheesy bread. Papa John's also does something similar, so this is quite interesting. I've tried both and I lean more on Domino's, but sometimes their cheesy garlic bread can get too cheesy and, you can get nauseous really quickly, but it's really, really delicious, especially if you're trying it after a long time. It's perfect. Like I mentioned before, I love my Lebanese garlic sauce. It's really nice, delightful, tasty, chilled, and a lot of really good things. The 3 that just immediately come to my mind. Cervantes wrote in Don Quixote, "Do not eat garlic or onions, for their smell will reveal that you're a peasant." What do you think of this quote? That's kind of interesting. So I think this goes back to the days of old when people believed in the medicinal properties that was contained in certain types of food. And I believe that garlic was one of them. As the class dynamics developed and people started to get more and more resources, I believe elites kind of moved away from natural remedies and could now access specialized treatments and synthetic medicines that could work faster, had little smell, and so on. Imagine those days before science could prove that these foods contained medicinal properties. The remedies were taken purely on faith. As the class dynamics continued to evolve and more people could now afford medical care in a more synthetic form, the narrative still persisted and remained for peasants or poor people, because the rich people were once poor, so they know, what happens down here. And I think garlic gets a bad rap because it has a really potent smell. People who really strongly believe that garlic has medicinal properties will more than likely fry their garlic in their food every single day. And if they're living in like a tiny accommodation or a room with really poor ventilation, the smell of fried garlic literally just sticks on the walls, on their clothes, on their skin. And especially in hot climates, I've heard, I don't know how true this is, that people can smell it coming out of their pores. Well, I think this is actually an exaggeration, but I see how this can be true for people who don't believe in deodorant, cannot afford deodorant, don't use deodorant. Probably that's a smell. Also, I think that bad public etiquette exacerbates the issue because some people just want to belch out in public, and once the stomach acids mix with the garlic, it comes out as something else. A smell is only bad if you're making other people smell it, because as humans, we have some interesting smells, but when you're putting them out in the public and because of bad etiquette, this is super unforgivable. And a lot of people who don't have to worry about etiquettes are people of lower economic standing. But having said that, I also know people of quite high standing who lack public etiquette. But I think they run around in smaller circles of family members and people who actually don't mind these behaviors. When these behaviors are displayed to like foreigners or something like that, it just becomes something awful. It probably will give away your economic standing if you're belching garlic in public every single day. Maybe I should be careful. What do you think of the smell of garlic being cooked in the kitchen? I think that the smell is very tantalizing and you can smell it from really far, especially in like smaller communities that are not like these public dwellings. And it's a really nice smell. And every time I smell it, I'm thinking, wow, the person is cooking really elaborate food. They have a lot of time to handle and cook garlic. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, they're probably really good chefs as well. I also believe that you need enough skill to handle garlic because if you burn it, you have to start from scratch and not a lot of people want to do that kind of thing. Where I'm from, I'm African and we do more elaborate type of cooking when we have guests coming. So not a lot of people use garlic in their everyday cooking. It's widely available, yes, but you see it more when people are preparing food for guests and so on. But I really expect good cooking every time I smell cooked garlic. Question 8. Which countries do you think value garlic the most? Asian countries. I have seen some videos of Eastern Asians picking up cloves of garlic with chopsticks and just putting it in their mouth. I'm not sure if the garlic is fried, boiled, or it's raw, but they seem to really like it. Southern Asians are known for their cooking, and I think there's also a lot of garlic. In Middle Eastern culture, I know that it's a thing. It's used a lot, especially I've mentioned Lebanese garlic sauce. In African tradition, I know that not a lot of people have the time to deal with garlic on a daily basis. It's used a bit less, but people really enjoy it, especially when they want to make elaborate food and they want to cook for guests. I see it a lot. In America, I've had a taste of garlic bread from Domino's. Domino's is an American fast food chain, and a really mainstreamed garlic, and I think that's amazing. Papa John's does something similar, like I mentioned before. I can think of these few places. Question 9. What products do you have at home with garlic in them? Well, not a lot. So maybe I have some leftover garlic sauce from the Lebanese shop that I mentioned earlier. But they're only leftovers. I try not to keep them for long because it's not very sanitary to do that. I buy bulbs of garlic because I like to swallow them, so I have raw garlic in my house. Yes, and I think that's pretty much it. So for the people who actually want to swallow garlic, they should do it right before bedtime. if you're going to be at work or in a public place the next day. But if you work from home like myself, you can just swallow the garlic in the morning with your vitamins and you're good to go. Thank you very much for listening. Let me know down in the comments how I did, and let me know if you would have answered any of the questions differently. Until next time, bye!